What's up guys, welcome to another LEFTSTICKRIGHTSTICK Dreams showcase. This video is going to showcase 10 awesome scene recreations from other games and movies. So don't forget to let me know what you think about these dreams in the comments below. So first up we've got Bag End in Hobbiton by XJ Fox. This was actually created in the beta, but this was a very amazing scene, and obviously with all the stuff out in the early access you may not have come across it yet. But this was very beautiful. I really liked how the camera pans in and then back out. And the detail of this is very awesome. And it's great that, there's some slight music as well. And, slight slow movements of the grass. And it really makes me want to explore more of Hobbiton, to be honest. In Dreams, I want to see XJ Fox create some more. The only thing that I would say is probably not so great about this is obviously it's very clearly a very stand-alone house in Bag End. And there's no other houses around, which would have been nice if you made the whole Hobbiton actual village. That would have been really cool, but this is very beautiful, very nice and tranquil, and could easily work as a background. Next up we have HOF, scene by Vile Creator. This was actually quite interesting. The actual detail of all the Star Wars machinery in there is actually very nicely detailed. It's interesting that in the animation of this was done in sort of multiple stills stitched together rather than an animation movie, which is actually a very nice way of doing it, because you can still actually feel the motions happening, although these scenes may actually just be one scene from multiple different angles. The way that it transitions between different angles, it does feel like there's actually movement going on in between the scenes, which is really good. And I just really like the actual detail of this HOF scene. It's really great. We'll definitely look forward to Vile Creator creating more Star Wars scenes. Next up we have a TARDIS tech demo by SDCXSFD. This was actually very beautiful as well. The interior was very nicely detailed, very accurate and on point. What was a little bit disappointing about this though was sort of when we're out in space at the beginning of looking at the TARDIS, it felt the whole space thing felt a bit flat, which is a bit of a shame because once we go in to the TARDIS it looks amazing, very accurate, loads of detail, clearly lots of attention has been paid to all the little control item bits. And it's great that you can also actually dematerialize, and you can actually the sound effects of you actually teleporting through time and space, and even open the door onto another planet. I feel like it didn't really need the actual exiting, but obviously it's a tech demo, it shows that what it can do. So that's actually pretty cool how we we go into the TARDIS from space and we actually leave out on another planet, which is very good, very good. But mostly what's really great about this is sort of all the detail in this, and I just really love how much is going on the control panel, and it just looks so accurate, so real. Kind of wish that there'll be maybe some fan-made Doctor Who scenes made in Dreams as well. That would be really cool, wouldn't it? What would also be great to see is all the other TARDISes, all the different TARDIS interiors as well. That would be really amazing to see, as well as just more Doctor Who stuff in general. Next up we have Journey by Glitchfish. This was very nicely done. Although it's not 100% accurate in terms of its look, it does get exactly the same theme. It does look very true to the original intro scene to Journey, and nicely done by Glitchfish. The sound is great. The actual aesthetic looks very right, even though you can tell it's very much in Dreams in many places, but in some of the places it's not quite as apparent that it is actually Dreams. Obviously I really like the actual dedication to completely remaking the actual intro scene. Everything is there and nice. These whole tombstone bits definitely look great in Dreams, but one sort of downside to this whole recreation I think was sort of the actual druid puppet, because that looked way too painterly compared to the rest of the scene. But everything else about this recreation is amazing, even up to the actual title appearance, because it just feels like it's exactly imitating the original, which is great. Next up we have Ghost of Tsushima by THR-Joker594. This is very epic and beautiful. It's so detailed as well, and it's so detailed and accurate that it's just literally like someone put a sort of painterly filter over the original teasers. But this is so great. I just love all the detail in the far distance as well. The lighting is superb, and the movement and the motion just really matches the original teaser. It's really impressive, this one by THR Joker 594. and it's and it'll be interesting to see what else THR Joker 594 makes, because this is so beautiful, and I really wish that maybe if the Ghost of Tsushima were completely remade like this, it'd be just really nice to have like a sort of painterly art style version of the game. Next up we have The Last of Us environment showcase by 8monkeyboy21. There's actually a Dreams edition of The Last of Us Part 2, which actually has a few more scenes in it now, but you should check that out on 8monkeyboy21's profile. But I really liked the way it sort of did the beginning bit, the intro bit with the arrows and the actual name and titles. That came up very well. But obviously the star of this whole level is this burning car. The aesthetics looks so realistic, the sounds are so great, and you could just stare at it for ages. Maybe that's just the power of burning fire. But I mean, it kind of annoyed me that there was this whole walk around bit, which seemed a bit unnecessary, because you can only walk around a small limited area anyways, and you could turn off the sound of music. Next up we have Podracer, a work in progress by Galfrayman. This had a very, very highly detailed pod racer in it. I mean, the detail on this race is very good, and obviously it should be able to move, but it's stuck in place for this scene. You can just walk around, and it's the whole pod racing sort of stadium. It looks really good. The sounds of the crowd chanting are good. I think the whole stage of all the audience stands is actually very nicely done. It's done in the distance, so it's not highly detailed. You can clearly see that the crowd are just little paint specks. But obviously the detail is where it's needed to be in the pod racer, and it just looks completely right. All we just need is a few more highly detailed pod racers and an actual racing game to go along with it, because there is an actual Galaxy Racers game, but this is a more detailed version. Next we have Majora's Mask Showcase by the Autobahn. This was actually very nice. Majora's Mask made in this scene. The forest was actually very nicely detailed as well. I just really like the mask. The actual text at the beginning as well is actually very accurate font to the original Majora's Mask font that you find in the game. My main complaint about this scene would be that it takes a bit too long going through the trees in this camera panning, but then that's sort of the same sort of style that happens in the original game. They spend a lot of time panning through trees anyways, and but everything else here is very highly detailed, very nice, and I'd like to see the actual opening scenes and maybe cutscenes from Majora's Mask completely recreated, because this looks like it would look amazing if it's done in Dreams as well. So hopefully the Autobahn moves on to making that, but otherwise this was a very nice scene anyways. Another Link sort of recreation is Kokiri Forest by Snow. This was very, very highly detailed. This actually, I think there's quite a few different Kokiri Forests on Dreams at the moment, but this is probably my favourite. It's the most sort of highly detailed, I think, of the lot that I've come across of Kokiri Forest. There's a few that are slightly less detailed, but has the same sort of layout, etc. But obviously there's not as much detail on the foliage and stuff, but it's a very great recreation of Kokiri Forest. And finally we have Memoria from Final Fantasy IX by Owl's Mark. Now this was a very, very accurate recreation to the actual original source material. It just looks exactly the same, except for obviously the character is trying to be a white dragon instead. But this looked so epic, even though you can probably tell that there's not all that much detail going into the tower itself. If you go up real close from this angle, it is very clear that it looks so much more detailed and so much more impressive, but very epic indeed. So I hope you enjoyed all of these scenery recreations from Dreams in this showcase, and I hope you stay tuned to Left Stick Right Stick, subscribe and click that bell button for more Dreams content.